Look who comes. I think it's Eisenhower. That's what you get for believing in anything. The contribution of the Etruscans in middle focus. Gray matter erect and bushy. One of those lowercase authors of nothing but digital sleep. Not so bad given your existing head. There's all these letters and he's great on colors, seat covers, flag backs. The general brought his stemware broadside, almost sober. It's brighter in North Hollywood. I went by one day and they were just, Almond wrote the book on candy, definitive, while I wore the sweater of the decadence. Put out the night lights when you nod. These are the hues, terrible and polychrome. Honeymoon and flying metal. We're all bent out of the realms. Is this daytime? That's it on a platter. Another war down the end. The grubbiness of everyday ogles troubles my heart. You never see a thing, you are partially right. Tar nation. An office full of corn and dust-proof PA. Call an animal if you don't. Things that call themselves things. Rusk and Trim will stay over the Apex in Davenport, that neighborhood. They throw bricks, carry logs when they come to the door. Battle Michigan in a single freeze, a floor for anyone who just drops by. How's the job? Too many toes. I copped a Prince's pen for the way it waves. Pressed weights will bring proof. Raise the walls in search of Alpaca Falls. The windows are ambivalent, unlocked. Luckily, this city has good walls. Mouths drop somewhere in the depths of Wordsworth, then back on the lumbago track, damp sacroiliac, bruised all the debentures right through. You believe all those doggy campers? Their logs come full of smoke. The various states that I know so well, their only fights used to be on Fridays. But you, Dracula, you're safe with me. You sit, you eat, but that woman had a rubber brother, sampled from whole ponds of time, thought of him as the rising figure, but too calmed down like a neglected elbow, mustard tweak trace of competence, opted for the single pistol shot. So anyway, this pianist was a fraud, wrote his way deep into latent brotherhood, took the Hopper room in Tucson, couldn't stop to lace up those chickens, just kept rolling. A chair to no one. The licorice vicar will be telling, here with the grub steak mines over one shoulder, first 9th of the month. They'll show you. Do you hear? Irving Mentor of Cleveland, deep in the purple headlights, cash on the Arrowhead, cloudy water about bell high. Take a tip from that cat. Stay away from the steel hole. Learn the art of carving. People are starving. Come see if this guy's conscious. No? Okay. But the lift in that wing was incredible. No? Okay. The rubble following the event has not yet been examined. Okay? My opinion comes later with the man with the furled umbrella. Here lies the insanity of JoJo. Imagine a spaceship of 500 feet. Imagine that boy didn't look at my tits, if she has any. If I had enemies, they would be these. They sensed something. Should we put up a lunch? I thought this was supposed to be a national happy day, a time for sitting around and cutting up jackpots. Get this, a whorehound drop dissolving in alcohol. There are certain combos will do you ill, seem to be speeding up. Got one on you? Why is everything blue? Imagine it went somewhere. Time for a new bottle of toast. The latest tug of strength. Who cares who won a thing? Takes off clothes and doesn't seem to mind. You keep on running out of the room like that, you just have to keep stripping. Now everything's red, a staircase too quick for us. I want to know everything anyone was ever up to, and that includes the clothing they came in. Oops, the tube came out somewhere. Call 911. Get lost. We met at Summerhill in the timing band. Not so abstruse in those days. All you'd ever need to want. Green cans rolling, market office share, on sufferance of annoying literally anyone. ask at the desk, try for 2 shoes, alert on the couch, bells in hand, tag whenever. I hear there's a great close groaning truck in the works, but I need more crawl space. I can see it now, a frog in the shape of a cow, brought into tutelage, the backstreet weaponry, pork in the rain, folks drown like this, plaid on the rocks, free fathom fires, built on a father's lies. She feels torque, stored tongues, and a run so red, the whole course is stung in place. It's a struggle to pretend to travel. Do up that baby, would you? I thought it was a plant, that this world is a melt egg, there's ice in the soup. You never knew anything about my life. Now you do know anything about my life. Heard this rubber knocking, brilliant bugs in this black and red land, fountains of serpentine and flax, a house that begins to extend. Know why? It continues miles under the sand. The Southerners love docking here of a linen composure, golden slippers in an avian sundown. The humus tends to catch up, jawohl, and with extensions. The old quarry now filled to the brim with Bibles and brew, something special for the dreamless inhabitants. I guess it wasn't the moon on those stones making any docking impossible. Save your prose, goals. We'll put up some sticks for a short factory, tricky but done to a turn as any puzzle, showing signs of that repeat shyness, a lip of fresh sulfur. Earth versus the giant waters. Hugh Marlowe will be in touch. Blew up a gasometer, now he's gone. Massive flats are scraping off buildings, buildings passing over buildings like people not dead but by vibrating on the ground, things shooting out and back. There's a crisis of confluence. You'll have to go home later. Oh, okay. What does this single taxpayer know? But I'd rather land somewhere. They won't say, wait a minute, ape. Even the balls there are underage. The snakes keep their hands off. It's a neighborhood, no peeking. Did you say most things are all right? But some are born to endless night. I don't see why I've got to have these problems. Mellow Yellow is what they call Donovan's picture framer. His career is now completely ballooned. Then the world breaks out in, I don't know, heat spots. What else hits the helmet's head? Entropy is available anywhere and at any point. A horse of a collapsing nature, if that is your backyard. This is in your backyard. Not a handsome man, but could be a handsome bird. Jelly-like, though. All these capers with handmade objects, I've never. Now there's a large beeping noise. Now there's all these hick colors to everything. The skies begin to look rabid, meaning otherwise. This larval panty waist has a coffee mark. There's something wrong. The ceiling's too shiny. You look up and you never come back. The willowy one by Bacon Hand will abide your moxie, no matter if she says she's on jelly. We'll go out for a movie on the moon. The A-Team's Angelus, it's called, teeming with silence and bone dreams, a stomach stallion for hire, product of these gooey flames. There's a Japanese version with tin inserts. It really doesn't make any difference. A python on a face guard to carry you over. I used to drink opposite the ice house, lived opposite the firehouse, heard God itself through a long, thin tube, beige end table with fluid claws, had a tussle with a spaceship. There were geometrics in the woods, hazel doorways of tan doom. This wind is a hole in. Introducing the man who cleaned up the moon, or possibly cleaned up on the moon, one. It isn't yet decided, hardly one-sided. A cart pulls up and the bullock jumps, a coat held over the ceiling lamps, reckoning on the most popular blends. Have they those bird whores in this quarter? They did find a hand in the river, penny dreadful but wonderful enough. Wounded rarities now down next under Venus. They put one on the day shift, once full up, a 3-penny fool smelling of apricots. See that flame? It's someone's home. Listen, A charnel dog causing quakes as twice that corpse has risen. Next time use a flash to keep him down. That good brown ale, no strain, no sun. It's good Sir Egbert's day, spent in or out. I see the snakes have come. Yes, but you see this granite held nothing but shorts. What they cannot do and call nothing at all. Cannibalistic interrogation techniques listed. Smokes the most willing of family branches. Tumulus on a clear blue day, one supposes. The landscape grew less soft, but with granules appearing. We'll just pretend, bend, end. 3, 2, 1, necromancy. Ladder Avenue, hopscotch blues, the original Helmsman. My background was in ducks. I forget. It went black. The novel overturned. Now that you're in memory, you know everybody dies in Mexico, even persons. Hot for the heights of crystality and nog. Southwest cast balloons rust. Horace Silver stands over them with a fork depending. You couldn't have written a better ending. He went mad and shot a picture of a dog. I'm going out. He said he would tighten with precision, a lesson he gave to someone, Hollywood, to make a long story. Don't talk to stragglers. This head is not quite high enough. It would require the belief of ball games, enough to kill an attempt of some value and regard the arts of this furtive bred. Exquisite, unfurled in plectrum, the capacity for gas and gardens. Since you play, do you know the saxophone? Scarfed up and weighted, no change. Sticky bulkheads, I guess. Now where go to pick skeletons clean? A brass thunderstorm in utter simplicity. So eggshell, the rain will crack it. There are such plots. I'm down for one. We'll go somewhere now. A husband drop. They say they make a plopping sound. Green in this section means religion, but just then something was taped. A carload fresh from the peony plane. Washing those zircons for the rest of your life. Got ripped, eh? Force enough for any airport. Tell the principal to put his pencil down. You need a sort of optical tent where you only have to extinguish the necks. I find myself finally, but among the missing, twisted, and I say, elephant gone. If you could only not be so federally noisy. Remote control box from here. Hit parking lot, heat up and blow shoehorn. We can try control water, more. Seal it with a hole, quick. Grumpiness is coming. Try a balsa cut, another, a something, a dotted bee collected in the stubborn barn at squat acres, projecting these torn smells, perfecto, made burn signs under their flashlights, a pride of girders, carbon undergarments, glugged all the lemon extract in Rhode Island. I wondered what we found to say. In the cells, we had a horror of pipes. Remember the odor of Grandma's eye test card? At which point the human elephant entered our dreams. Dawns are drowsy, mainly cameras of no use. Care to take a war cruise? You would like running up an empty flashlight barrel. There's something down here. Say hello. The Honorable Sir Percy Corncounter, a bit fragile, meanwhile in the 5th sub-basement. Concentricity will not power your plans. The crowd stands alarmed. I warn you, this whole building's getting through. Watch your silicon animal collection. Here in this very case is the last cell born, caused a general shutdown. Got a clue? The Amalfi Coast may well provide. The pit and an arrow coming dangerously close to, there being no demons on this map. Over-mic'd and overlit as the world now is, you'll get your silken comeuppance, bloody wind chimes in the rain and wind. I'm on this nibble-free diet. The sun's wicked an inch left. There's knowledge in your eyes, senor. Is this the mica barn? Topsoil easy. Cannibal Closet includes clues to what? I think it must have upset me. Wild and dipped in calcium light, lots of snow and a crunch at a brittle tempo. This wheel keeps turning in my dreams. Went to quitclaim school and studied my dealings. It was a tussle. Not to give an orange peck. Is that a bell jar copter? Kiss my gender. Give a garbage tail push. We'll return. You want to bleed in a beaker? Then follow what I offer. Your date is on the lid. Make that ice cream fit, get me? I'll seal these power jars. Time-free junket to the stars. He's an icicle hopper who'd find every one on a map, and that one has a flower facade, knocking off thing after thing in this room. A found fish, a prop of crockery, application of this to everything and then some. You could see the conversation going up and down. Such a colorful display. How many glasses? Every one of them a planet, complete with squeals, divine, and in the back room a stump in progress along the varied opportunities. Poor creatures, how their feet do go. Glad you liked it. Down here at the Founders Club, the air is expelled with sadness. There's that thump again, but they play very well. Twisting in the sodium spotlight, the very pucker. Pluck it in so freely it comes to a spin. I couldn't counsel you more than to replace that nut. It's a windjammer, fairly silly stuff at concert speed and occulting dimness. Jump on the sink while you can. The universe has found its harpo. You must have bats in your bow tree. Men who belong nowhere gather here. No choice but to play baseball for Valentine's. Husks scratching across a video monitor. Meanwhile, a kid comes in on an ox and shags the money. Perception couldn't be any better. Really? Leggy substances totter past, loose and natural light. Homage to Jackson at the old Metro milk bar. Colossal steam pipe driving me partial, however the powers can. Plenitudes of a graphic feature, propensities do flow. These are frosted people, or so they tell me. Most places will give you a closet stipend. You think you get the Augustine answers to everything? Pick up those sticks and start threatening somebody. Nothing you have done has impressed me yet. Can we take some time out to talk about this? The trouble with truth is it's tied to too many other things. Dry blue air like living inside a tooth. You're too young to figure out a thing like this. And you're in Midpoint Street, initialing the shellac for pennies. Anything else would be stupid. To live the length of your leg, this man here will teach you to respect gummy bears. The bare bones of the discipline at least. Listen to me, these Alps are so very empty. You climb at the sound of an alarm. Suffer the little ones to come up with something. You're too young to wear a collar like that. My glasses come off only when my head is removed. Watch this peanut hull fill up with soot. They'll later paint with no doubt at all. Whatever you do, never mock a hotel. A de Kooning and lipstick is all you'll have going. That ball of crystalline stubs and skeins. Schemes. I fall to pieces whenever the stars are right. They used to seal their houses in amber. I use honey to soak my Hogan against the weather. Manuel, fetch the psychiatrist. Here, a psychiatrist is a chair, worth all the vibraphones in Mexico. No one stays seated in this place. The apple is a sign of loss, things you must hand to yourself. The hour of bulbs with ink stains, words of the soapstone manager. The bugs wait in the high dust eternal. You should never paint frostbite on your chest. Instead, a postal box with no headlamp. You will be afraid to draw. Not much sense left in motion. Just ask Chewy Medinas. He knows. Rather a cloud will come into your house and sit down. The grotesque are out again. Feeble as wet wrapping paper as they may seem. Actually, you can't imagine the flack here, unconditional bugdom. Scar tissue come to passable life then. The next stage, an abdomen dome. The lights of a capitol under the lab bench. Next you know they've all arrived, but these new shoes are not your friends. Having bladder tension, hard presences designed to die, they are breeding no matter what jacket you wear. feeling like the inside of an old beaker. Let's go find something that has no reason. Pulped in the public square, a common circle. Don't even glance. It can see you. There are stories just to even things. The world is short, but with horns and a dynamite tag. She goes around in her car with her hair humming in her head. The subject is sunspots. Lie down, sleep, think, dream, then think again. That should make a hit if set on replay. To have the time to catch up in your reading. Literally everything must stop. A brown study with a brown solution this time. Other times blank, silent, all tubes empty. Read. Watch the red dot just above the lens. An eggshell map of the universe over there. Count to 5, you'll have a psychotic reaction. One of those presence bombs, but you'll get off at the next image. These voices from the past, leaving vacuum statues here in the flat, the grains don't even stir. People always think they want to go somewhere. The peelers are not ceasers. Hats off to a dumb hole, one for the records with windows that move. Hard to be blonde in those wooden rooms alone. Millions died in the whistling rain. Out that glass we hear nothing of any use are in my life. The story of the revolution, a boxing mink on my desk. We'll discuss it later, surely. It's rocky. The Coke machine is on the blink. Oh yes, the clocks tick over there just as well. Well, a balloon treatment of the bloody score. Ta-ta. The beat that brings it all back. A coyote's tail over stacks of industry. Another button for your cap. Indian length trick. Where there is a doggy, and I don't like the doggy, the dentist tied with ropes to the doggy. A snuff is heard from the saturated lines. The dozer does its duty. Books, spats, fertile eruptions of the skin as man's fate lurches toward the trees. Overly thin legs in the rain, only partial to the detriment of electrical bugs. Bed is no place for trains. Water glass and petri dishes. I hear the barking. They need a thumping. Walking the posts past like a woman's hair, but the madman will have his constitutional mutton served on pegs out of sheer goodwill, and this will be a knockdown. Ragu. In which it is found that Mozart is mysterious. That old boy had his head on for the day. Sores appeared and the brand of wheat rose. Snap the cap, you're soon out of that. Women's breasts have come with wheels. Will the gamekeeper take his pills? This may be catching, but in the kitchen, the untamed fires of liberty are taken with a pinch of lead. The head coot, whose pencils tend to go off on him, parts with flowering triggers and such, that made up for what was next brought in, the miasma of an empty dress. But soon, the madman, he is special, and it shows all the glassware from a single skeleton, so careless he's perfection. Lights out, everyone cry. Try to mend those wiles. Choose to hide behind the oils as all leave a room otherwise used as a freedom thicket, spines growing out of a prelate's head in advance. The violin kicks itself down the street by rote. Then the budgies start eating their hands, carting the express loads of a love affair, for they have knowledge. A madman cannot put a stop to his full rip. The lovers eyeing the marble digits, forcing the church to split. But the madman is Steve, and he will rise to a perfect headache, suck the toe to perfection. I give up. Somewhere along the way, it changed to Wagner, and the conductor's head had gone. I slept in the world. I didn't know anybody. I'm writing a book about sand. As a child, I lived in a mansion. Now, are we up to anything here? Some say I invented the balance beam. I used to eat clothing, a gun I use with red gloves. Read what I'm told. It's graceful. I wish the light would give out, if only to tell, I swear, if I knew, topic sentence followed by other, in for a terrible wait. Join. I was born in this band, and I never wanted to do anything, not even fly or be something. It turned out I already was one. Start again. I woke in another. Is this floor flat at all? Not if you ride roller skates competition model. Flinched before you heard the shots. It's all done up provisional anyway. Private Dick lights a white cigarette, does a wipe, is gone, is back. Overlooking today's remains, an empty red car, a wallet with footnotes. Are you a substitute? Everything in red won't connect. You die, you go to the moon, don't you know? Where everything's beige and buried in mushrooms. He looked at you and saw a bedroom in his future. This sort of setup comes in its very own case. No time for hi-fi or stereo, those kinds of poems. A key to your locket, and there'll be some answers. The jewels off a felt pad, the skyline of a snowman. I was with my wife in a room when I woke up, someone was there and things went on. You know how those up-tempos work, or stop, bop. Now when is all this taking place? The kind of guy who wears his hat in a car. Stars that were on your walls are now in this envelope. Take it and smile, but the guy's shoes match his tires. Pop, I'm giving out. The future has ceased to roll. Squeak or peep or luff or blow. Listen, I'm the changer. Didn't I tell you the sun would go down? An idea of so-called dead meat. These people you see, they live in Costco. Quiet. Anywhere. Dead guy is not available. Even the air is dead. Ever catch the smell of a smile? Ha! Just what is it you think you're revealing here? I dared myself to. Thought is through. Good thing you can't re-experience the horror of coming to life. Do you really want a conversation with your own memory? Can you give me the exact significance of Mr. Froggy? It's better quite often to forget whatever is on your wallpaper. Just as I thought, there's no one here. You are not even a single member of your own life. But this was my blue skylight. I looked up and bared my teeth. Or morning light on a flashlight barrel, this time around. Guess I was born under the headlights. The loading had begun. A battle of walls, while just above a fresh blue chute. This was before coffee struck. The topic was soon Tesla, the little white tubes, shelter nowhere, a string full of rhymes. So what's the story, ace of symmetry? Say it's the sky that makes it. Some things don't repeat, they're just always there. Like over here. Is this like a test? There used to be an entrance around here somewhere. So why is it suddenly brighter in here? How many futures wasted? Eyes just colored balls, maintain a running face, asphalt boots to the horizon, a terminal flush. After that we lapsed back into no such thing as soon. Are you a customer to make things I have been known the next day? Instead of the sun, a clown appeared, which didn't work out at all. We sent him back that same night, right after the big rock fall and massive spill of paint. Peep, peep, let go of my hill. The seat will shrink, the cardboard's drain. Think you'll find anything? Blow it out your whole train on a bet. Somewhere there's music. Do you promise to laugh? The one about the 5,000 priests and the 900 dolls? Probably have that one on the wall of your office, up all night with the realization. Tumbling dice, world without price, born a double Palomino. See you in the headlines, probably the bread lines. I can hardly see it all. The minutes seem to crawl. Most of our cereals come from Virginia, the Piedmont, the Delta, some bishopric or other. Are you my mother? This is a homage to Williams, to Stevens, to Doodad, Nimrod, Abracadabra, and the Cooties. We met down on the farm. The foggy road to speleogenesis. Not good enough? Elaine May will save it and rewrite. Secretly, the snail is in the mail. I recognize your name on the weapon. What no one else has dared to say. The sun sucks. The drill cores have been misplaced. Never saw the result. We'll gather later at Trees Lounge for the music alone. I feel dizzy was almost removed from the show, replaced by Cool Jerk, by the next in line, by the scoopful. An expensive leather tetherball as a rule. Tape your want list here. Drop a dime on no one. Topspin is permissible. Always write your name in the center of the page. Enter is accompanied by salt. Imagine, somebody will manage the pickup. Rattles, lock. Matter of some substance goes along with anything. A layer of gauze over the entire clock tower. Fear of orgies and playings of the spoon. 3 cheers for Orderly Jones. master of straps and belts, being homeward bound now is what possible? I presume that star is still pumping. Stupidly, I trusted the wrong window. They have summers there, contrary to popular belief. The bubbles will tickle your Tchaikovsky, but it's none of our business. Effortless if it is, a numbness creeping up. Guess who's in the shower? Donald Dark. That theme? Ancient railway in the sun, decidedly western slant. Now it's Bart. Wait, I'll turn out the light. Rumble of Mickey mouth yelling at each other. No more wallpaper, it's smothered in tape. Flame after flame of a watering compound. So about face, Mr. Man, I could write a preface. I think I'll call my driveway Ferlinghetti. The backyard, too complex. Don't know, have to think. Keep the driveway locked from the inside. No need for any more nonsense syllables wandering loose. Candy Clark, my second choice, though she can take a walk too. Meanwhile, no very good works have been produced. I think I'll name my garage after Adobe Marge. Up there among the willing pace setters on the line, my garbage can is called Tiny Man, okay? This pencil, Holly Near. The paper, Stilo. Such a man, he takes a bath out of cans. Stares at each other on airplanes. People tell him he looks alike. Takes a flashlight to investigate the air around his body. As long as he has to act at least past the point of no return, tells the stew, don't let anyone run out of fluid. Pilot's only been checked out on balsa models soaked in dope. Guilty of instance abuse. Where's your handler? Now don't go getting all broadband ridiculous on me. A simulacra full of substitution. What do you mean you missed the sky? This thing is too clean. I don't like it. Termination code, Petty Papa Polka Dunce. Something make you think it would? Careful of that ultraviolet flavor to things. But I use that word too much, and now it's worlds away, really. Those roads must roll. The lights in the sky are stars, no stuff, and facts are not a matter of faith. I bet you 20 simoleons. Isn't there a definite blue glow to things now? I felt it coming down the stairs after me. No way I was going to rush to the window. See, there's a garbage man perfecting new glows out there. Gongs intruding in here. Nevertheless, I'll walk, thanks. But all dentists are crazy. Bump into people I don't know. There's a flavor and I have to go right out again. You know there are meetings the matter with you. I stand on the street accepting shadows, benefits, placebos. Is that Danny Zeitlin in his new age phase? If you're not crazy, do that thing with your eyes. Done. There's little plastic left in our overall plasma. Just back from a film called Baby Don't Pull Me. People are different. Times are strange. Knew you when, see you now. They try to get pork from a cow. Lighting of most interiors all messed up. Patu, it scares you. There were too many backgrounds to everything. I couldn't focus on the main action. Gaps even. There's little sense in saying, come with me to this house, but forget the house. While out back there's repair work, the rabbits, the mouth of a vast dark funnel of bricks, tubas on the track, mist on the lens, pajamas to be worn over your jacket, etc. The life lived that way, but I wouldn't. I'm not who you think I am. Elizabeth Taylor? Jesus, you need an extensive nerve map with clearings, zones of Babatunde. Sheesh. Stumps in danger, food, a lump in the rug, not necessarily show. You run a gallery with everybody at your elbow, all the time, I mean. Drop that lariat. Don't know why I said that. There's a bird with no heart, only this continuous scrolling sound. The late afternoon rays, the standing stones are standing libraries. The colossal symmetry, I can't imagine what was written there. What now will dinner time be? Call the Stanley Avenue division and ask for the folded cardboards. That way. Meanwhile, back beneath the bindings, mammoth gilded leathers give access, goulash. I feud with myself. I'm asking myself, I'm asking you, I am asking the language. A small people with large harpoons. A small round god on a teak table cooling down. All these stones await the kissing moon, and I write it down here, kangaroo that I am, leading capsule that I was, a throw short that I will be. Once I stop making people laugh, the troubles come out to meet me. Then I came to a distinct dot. The end of the street held my history then, a wobble of the planet pocket-sized. But there's this brilliant tree in the way of a childhood back there from which it was launched, but communism is completely unrealistic. I prefer travertine. It was that serpentine. I nearly don't hardly feel, but stop. Strip the Christmas tree. Don't back down as downcast we come apart. Some noise just. Know what? The top of the calcium building flew away. You should really have a television that showed that. Gleam spreading fast as a speeding elevator, right past the initial turtles. Who knows? Who could? Have you seen the view from Bodenheim? My friend shook and displayed otherness. A bindle stiff at best. Jello fancier, an irremediable dummy. Spacious as show business, but there's no pattern to dreams, though you spend your life tracing them. Then there's everybody's drinking problem. Freak show, palm oil, peep. The drapes are ready for your accent. Green smoke from the telephone's fluid. Cape Town is where I most remember first being. My aunt there came with the flood. The apartments came in buckets, if not cubes. Stay clear, they said. Sit tight. Come away. Don't go back. My very own person rose through a hole in the ceiling. A walk would do it good. I yawned at the gap in her clothing. Smiled at the active section of the image. Wondered who owned that frame. Everything to be seen belonged to that frame. People are usually the causes, but not this time. Soon someone would come to the same solution, a word that sounds like amazing in Chinese. You might consider a shutdown. Light is leaking from the cities, infatuating terminals for propellers, a shot glass intelligence. That position of your wrist is terrifying, so stop it. Lug whatever's left home. The dolphins are on the phone, so it glows. Mute seas of movement fill the air. The cow has landed. Some sheep's on the house. I got the light bulb blues. Fast as I can turn, the matchstick arena useless. Throckmorton P. Elgin lever breaking for some peace, etc. Sir, I have Milwaukee on the wick. Cars ride the stairs, their nodules so temporary. Here, slow my hand. The fixture is alive. The poem's done.